Hey everyone, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. Little warning here, the intro might run a tad longer than usual. So if you want to skip to the reaction, that's totally fine. I understand completely. But John Williams, the man who scored so many of our lives, definitely mine, you know, I've always wanted to see him, and I live in Belgium, and this summer he was going to be in Germany, in Berlin. It's like a 9 hour drive from where I live, but I would have totally gone. I wanted to get tickets. I was there in the morning. You go online, right, and then you wait in the queue. Totally sold out. In I don't know how long it took, but I didn't get a ticket. I was bummed out. I said, "All right, that's going to be one of my regrets. I could never see him." Later, I don't know when it was announced, but he had to cancel due to health, and somebody else had to fill in. I mean, that might have been even a bigger bummer if I would have scored tickets and didn't get to see him. If you were one of those people, you might still enjoy the concert, of course, because you could still hear his music. But to see the man himself, it's one of those bucket list items for many film lovers, I imagine. But I said, hey, I have this YouTube channel. I can react to some of his performance where he conducts the orchestra. So here we are. I said, let me start. Let me kick it off with the movie uh, that sparked my love for cinema. I have reacted to classical music before and, movie music, but I wanted to check this out. Jurassic Park came out in 93, which is one of my favorite movie years, maybe my favorite and most nostalgic movie year. Mrs. Doubtfire, Jurassic Park, Free Willy, Pelican Brief, Philadelphia. There's so many. Demolition Man, very nostalgic 90s movies, some of them very dramatic, of course. So many great movies that year. Carlito's Way, love Al Pacino. And of course, Jurassic Park. And I was 6 years old at the time. I saw this in the theaters. I don't know how old you have to be to watch Jurassic Park. I don't know. But I think maybe way back when, there was a little less attention to that. They didn't even check at the door or anything. I watched Scream when it came out in theaters. I was 9 then. So, I'm grateful for it. But when I look at my daughter now in the movies, I want to show her some of this. Can I? I'm overthinking it. I'm grateful that I saw this in the theater, even though I had to look away sometimes because some of it was scary for at 6 years old. The opening scene, with the raptors in the cage, which now somebody who watches my reactions told me that they had a friend or a brother who worked on that scene. That is cool. That is cool. But I had to look down. I mean, I had to look down. But every time this score comes on, especially the scene where Alan, Sam Neill's character, first sees the dinosaurs and he kind of can't believe it, and they do live in herds, and that score comes on. That's the moment that my love for cinema was born. All right. So I said, long intro. So if you skipped, welcome. Let's have a listen. Wow. Wow. Sheesh. That's amazing. You know, the little boy in me just, you woke up, you know that it's still there, you know, that youthful innocence, and music like this and stories can definitely conjure up that feeling, you know, that we shouldn't forget. We shouldn't forget in our day to day lives when we fuss about all these little things or be upset to people or get annoyed, or, you know, it's a great reminder. And I love the way, you know, orchestral music is filmed nowadays. It's really innovative, and it makes sense. It's perfectly logical, but to, you know, have these multiple cameras to focus on the instrument that you then hear and see at the same time. Very immersive feeling. You learn something, and as soon as they show it, you hear it, right? It's almost like when you say a body part like leg or arm or hand, when you suddenly become aware of it when you name that body part, or you can feel it, right? It's, I guess, how our brains work, which is a really great way of listening to these. And yeah, this entire arrangement is just, I mean, the beginning, it is that John Williams sound, of course, but you almost have that mystery sound of the score of Star Wars, with the horn. I could be at Tatooine right now. And then it becomes that intimate, magical arrangement. It's so beautiful, and it transforms into that epic, grand, to piece of music which evokes the power of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Of dinosaurs. It's epic. It's grand, and to put yourself into the position of a small 6-year-old boy, right? You have this film, with at the time, very advanced visual effects, which still hold up today. So you have that, you have dinosaurs, right? What boy doesn't like dinosaurs? You have the movies, you have this music, this already impressive for a 6-year-old boy to be in a movie theater, right? In the dark with other people. And then you have this, and that's a spark that ignited the love for film and of course storytelling. And yeah, that's amazing. John Legend, what a gift he has given us. And what a year Spielberg and John Williams had in 93 with this movie, Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List, which also has incredible music, very different, very, you know, uh, sad, and it's intense and it's beautiful. It sweeps you away. And here we got this magical uh, feeling when it comes on. It's amazing. Yeah, what a year that was. Um, and Yeah, it's just you cannot imagine this film without the music. It definitely wouldn't have been the film it is today. It's, the music is always like an extra character in a movie, but here, I mean, it amplified it, just the way you feel when hearing that score come on in that scene I mentioned before with the herd, or when the T-Rex breaks free, or at the end, right, where he kind of comes in and almost saves the day, right? And it's like, oh, this is like the Superman theme, but for a T-Rex right now. So yeah, it's just so well made. Plus, it's so well edited into the film at the right moments that it's just, yeah, so good, so good. And to see it, all these people come together and create this together, it's so beautiful, right? Every single instrument is so important, and it creates one big, piece, coherent piece, and creates magic. It's wonderful. I don't know how movie composers will be looked upon, when we go 500 years into the future, if we're still here. If we haven't invented dinosaurs or resurrected them and killed ourselves, or any other way we can self-destruct. But when we look at these other classical composers who really paved the way in music, but I don't know how they will be looked upon. I know that I love it, and that it's been an enhancement in my life and so many others. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so I definitely want to also listen to some movie scores on the channel. I have done it before, but I want to, I'm not saying I'm going to make it a weekly thing, but I want to do it more often. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day. Goodbye.